Hey everyone, and welcome back to D3 in 10 minutes or less. I am Jasper, and today I am so excited to talk to you about interactions. Why am I so excited? Interactions, it's really one of the things that makes D3 stand out from using Tableau or Power BI or anything like that. This is where you can take your data viz product and turn it into a web-based experience. It unlocks all the power of JavaScript. You can use any object that you create in D3 to create a function with the data that you've passed through to a specific object, which I'll show you. I'm super stoked to show it to you. So yeah, let's just get into it. So we are going to use the data set we've been using. This is GDP emissions per capita over time. So if you recall, when we built this, it looks really cool, right? Like it's pretty, it's a scatter plot, it's got a little bit, but for the most part, it's the same thing. This is great, but I'm an end user of this. I don't know which ones are which. I can kind of guess like China and India, but I don't really know what these actual countries are. So this is where the power of D3 comes in. You can give the users another dimension to play with. So you have the x-axis and the y-axis, you have size and color. You can also create interactivity so to like, oh, I can click on this. This will give me more information without having to make the actual just base presentation super busy. So what we're going to do is we're going to crack open this cell. If the screen out on me, we're just going to scroll down here to where we're adding in the circles right now. Disregard the tooltip. We'll save that for later episode. Let's just delete it so it doesn't confuse us. So if you recall, the end of last episode, we were going through the enter, update, exit pattern. We're going to keep it super simple for this one because we're not doing any sort of transitions to remove or add things with this. We're just doing join. So it's very simple. It keeps it nice and easy. So we're just joining circle. Beautiful. And then we're adding some attributes. We're going to add some sugar in here. So the first thing we're going to do is add in a style affordance. So if you're in the UX UI world, you know that an affordance is how you let the users know that they can do something with this. So in the web, usually if you have something like cursor of pointer, that'll let the users know, hey, I can click on this. So let's just do that real quick. Press play. Go up here. So now when I mouse over these circles, yep, goes to a pointer. So that's the first clue for a user, like, hey, if I click on this, something happens. Right now, nothing happens, but this is the interactivity. It's all as easy as .on. So if you're from React or other spaces like that, you have things like on mouse enter, on click, on mouse over, on mouse exit. With the D3 selection process, it's just .on open parentheses. So what we're going to do is just say on click, and we're going to pass through some stuff. Let me hop over to the other screen because I have this saved and I want to do it right to save you time and to keep my promise of doing this in 10 minutes or less. So what it is, let's go .on. Okay, so on click, pass through the event. This is probably the coolest part of the whole dang thing. So you go up a couple lines, you see where, and remember I talked about how we assign data to each iterable within an array. I'll give a link to the episode where I talk about that right here. So we're taking the data that we've assigned to each of these objects and we're actually passing it through from the event. You can see right here on this line, event target. So the target, that little object, the little circle that's being clicked on, now has an attribute that's underscore data. And what that is it's an object that has all of the things we've passed through from the data. So in this instance, I've got this handle click function, which I will also bring over. This one's a doozy, so you don't want me to type this out and possibly do it wrong, so I've copy pasted it over. So let me just grab it from my scratch pad here, bring it back over. and we can walk through it. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so for the handle click, what we're going to do is first we're going to remove everything that might be added from the function we're doing. So we're doing a handle mouse exit, kind of wipe the slate clean, doing some logic to determine where the click is, what hemisphere, what half of the screen is. You'll see why in a second. Then we're going to add a circle to the chart. We're going to call it the highlighted element. We're going to add on an on click to that. Again, we can walk, I'll explain this once we see it. Then we're going to start adding some attributes. So it's a circle, so we're adding the X and Y, the fill, the stroke. Again, an affordance, you'll see why in a second. Transition, as you remember from last week, and then a radius, stroke width, and a fill opacity. Also going to add in some text. This is the key of this whole thing. This is that additional context that you're going to show your users when they click on these confusing circles. They see all these. You see 165 circles here, and they don't know what, they can make some guesses about the big ones, but they have no clue who that is or who that is. What we're going to do is we're going to add in this text here that actually brings in from that data object we're passing through the country. So accessor there, set to country. I'll have a link to this in the video so you can actually click through and see where we have everything. We're doing some formatting, some more transitioning. Placement is based off of there. So let's just, before I click this, I feel like I kind of like shot through that. So talking through the design pattern of this again, you draw your circles, right? You add an affordance to let your users know that they can interact with them. In this case, we're just doing a cursor to pointer. Then you add an on-click event. You could do on mouse over if you want to do hover. You can do an on mouse exit if you want to get weird. Here you declare what the data object is, you pass it through this function, and then it's just a click handler, right? So we also have a handle mouse exit, which is poorly named, but that's what it is, just for when you click on something that's been active already. So I've pressed play, so let's see what happens. All right, so if I'm pretending to be the user, I'm watching this, I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I think this is China. Let's see if I'm right. Click there, China, great. So what's happened? The text has come in from the center. We've added a circle in. We've added in some darker coloring, so we know that's selected, as well as the stroke around it. If I want to click here, so let's see. Oh, cool, United States. So what this allows you to do is give this additional layer of depth and context to your vises within D3 with just a couple dozen lines of code. It's pretty straightforward. Again, this is why I'm doing this D3 in 10 minutes or less. I want to make it clear that you can add all these different things in if you just do it piece by piece. You can build something awesome in D3 in 10 minutes or less. That's why we're here. That's why you're watching this. That's why I'm making this. Yeah, so that's that for this one. As usual, if you have questions or comments, leave them in the comments. If you like this, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm going to keep doing this whether you like it or not. So if you don't like it, give me feedback. Let me know why, and I'll happily improve and change things. Feedback is a gift, and I always appreciate it. That's about it for me. So hope you have a good one, and we'll catch you next week. Take care.